Just answer me already. Is this you? Have you texted an ex and they have not texted you back? Yeah, that sucks. That's frustrating. Let's talk about what you should be doing. Okay, first, I know how I used to feel when I would text my ex and he wouldn't text me back, and I would be panicked and I would freak out, and that's a totally normal body response. Sometimes I'd find myself getting really, really angry because I just wanted him to text me back. Like, I didn't even care what he texts, just text me back. What I would say is that that feeling is normal. It's okay that you feel angry. It's okay that you're upset, that you get panicky, but try to self-soothe. Try to calm down, take a moment, breathe. You don't have to act right away. It's okay. I know your brain might be racing, but it's okay. It's okay. Nothing is actually happening right now, and that doesn't mean that what you're feeling is invalid. What you're feeling definitely is real. But you can take a moment and pause and maybe bring that feeling down a little bit. I know for me it was really easy to get into that fortune telling that we all do, where we think we can predict the future and we think that we know what's going on, and I would assume that my ex wasn't texting me because he was with somebody, or he was doing something, or he thought something about me, or I just came up with all kinds of reasons that probably weren't true. I mean, obviously all of them can't be true, so don't go into that mode of predicting what's happening, because you don't know. And this could be something that only lasts for a few minutes, maybe an hour, maybe a day, where they do text you back. Okay, so if this is something that you need an immediate answer for, maybe that's why you're panicking, because you're like, I need the answer now. Well, first, be sure that it really is something that you need an answer for now. Sometimes we feel like things are really important, we feel like things are really urgent, but it's just our feelings. And that's why I say, take a moment, take a breather, and just really think it through. Is this really something that I need right now, truly? If it is, that's okay. We'll talk about that. So I really don't think in most cases that you really need your ex right away, even though it feels that way. But let's say your child has homework or something and it's left at your ex's place or something because you are co-parenting. Well, if they're not texting you back, don't wait on that. Give them a call. It may not be something you want to do, it may suck, but just get it out of the way for your child's sake. Give them a call, leave a voicemail so they can't say that they didn't hear the call or whatever. Try a couple of times if you need to, if it's really urgent, but also try to remember that, people have lives, and I know you may hate your ex and you may think badly of them and what they're doing, but it could be that they stayed late at work. It could be that they got into a car accident. Like, anything could have happened. So you don't know why they're not texting you back, and it may not be because they're trying to fight with you. It may not be because they're angry at you. Like, don't make those reasons is what I'm really getting at. If it's something that's not really that urgent, give it a day or two. Chances are your ex probably doesn't think it's that urgent, because most things in life aren't that urgent. They're not so immediate. As I said, they don't need attention right away. So your ex may figure that they have some time. All right, so something else to think about here is, how did you write the text to your ex? This may be the reason why they're not responding to you. It may have come off angry, it may have come off rude, it may have come off like you were accusing or blaming them of something, and that typically is not something that makes somebody want to respond. Usually, you may be able to relate to this when somebody comes at you in an angry way. If they come at you in a way that seems like they're attacking you, you may shrink back away from that and decide, you know what, I'm not dealing with this right now. Now, I'm not saying that if you're angry, that your anger isn't justified, but when you say things in this way, when you communicate in this way, you're less likely to get a response. So if you want a response, you may have to tone it down a bit, and you may have to rethink the way that you sent that original text and think about a new way to send a text in a little bit more of a calm manner, a little bit more emotionless, so that you can get the response that you want. Now, I know this can be hard sometimes, especially because we are strong with our emotions with our ex. We're very angry, or we're very frustrated, or we're very sad. So one thing you can do is to pass the message to a friend or two, have them look at it and see what they think, or just, try to, I know it's hard, but pretend it's not your ex, pretend it's somebody else, pretend you are somebody else and you received this text. Try to read it a few different ways. Try to pretend like you already believe the person's angry, or you already believe that the person is suspicious of you. Like, just try to open your mind and go into different ways of thinking, and see how you might interpret your text differently if you were a different person. Remember that when it comes to text, you don't have the benefit of tone of voice, you don't have the benefit of seeing somebody's face and their facial expressions and their body posture, so we just have to go off the words, and sometimes we fill in the blanks of what we think somebody else means when it may not be what you actually meant when you sent the text. And this is why I say if it's urgent, if it's something that you really need done, then give a call at least so that they can hear your tone of voice and they can understand, like, this is urgent and I'm not trying to be a dick about this, but I need this information now. I do just want to remind you, you don't have to take action right away, and it's okay if you texted your ex and you realize, like, you know what, I really didn't need to text them about that. That was kind of dumb. It's okay. We make mistakes. It's not a big deal. Whether they text you back or they don't text you back, perfectly fine. So I have a confession here. When my ex broke up with me, things were not good, and eventually I got to a point where I said, F him, I'm done, I don't want to communicate with him anymore, and I stopped talking with him. So when he started texting me and emailing me and even calling and leaving messages, he was not going to get through to me. I didn't care. Now, I'm not saying that this is your situation, but it may be different for you. I just want to give you an example of what I went through. So on the other side of things, I was the one who did not want to text back, and I was not interested in having a conversation, even though he was trying to contact me about something which was important, which we were both involved in, which was to move out of the place that we were living in together. At that point, as far as I was concerned, he had to get his stuff out of there, and he didn't need me for that. He didn't need me to get his stuff out of the place. He didn't need me. We knew when the lease was ending, so it's not like the lease was going to magically be renewed. He didn't need me. He didn't need me to talk to the landlord. Like, why did I have to be involved at all? And as far as I was concerned, it was just another way of him holding something over my head or trying to finalize the breakup, or I don't know. I didn't want the conversation. It didn't matter. It really didn't matter why he was trying to reach out to me. I didn't want the conversation. I was done. So what I would say to you is start thinking, just in case, of how you could do whatever it is you need to do without your ex. How can you move on? Whether you're contacting your ex because you want to get back together with him, start thinking about a future without him. And I know that's scary and painful. I don't want to minimize that, but at least open up the door in your mind. It doesn't mean that you have to go in that direction, but let the door open up at least. Or if it is something more urgent, like homework or like moving out, then start thinking about how you can do it on your own. You know, my ex did move out without me. He didn't need to contact me. He figured it out. The landlord contacted him and it was done. Using the example of your child and the homework, find out if you can get a copy from a friend, or if you can email the teacher or talk to the teacher and explain the situation, see if there's a way that you can make it up, or if there's a reading that they can do, something else, another option where you don't need your ex involved. I know that it doesn't feel like it, but generally there are solutions to these problems, and though you're waiting for your ex to text you back, that's okay. That's a normal feeling. It's normal to panic. It's normal to want them to text you back, but you can do things on your own too. You can solve these problems, and I want you to believe that you can. Pretend like your ex doesn't even exist, and then what would you do if that was the case? Does this help you feel any better? Do you have any other questions? Leave those down below in the comments.